welcome back to my kitchen. I'm really excited to have you back. Today, we've been talking all about meal prepping and how to reduce colon cancer risk since it's Colon Cancer Awareness Month. And today I wanted to show you a way of incorporating more vegetables and making sure that you have a quick, healthy breakfast or snack that is going to give you some protein. And that is mini frittatas. So today's recipe is really simple. We're going to show you 3 different ideas for toppings that you can use for mini frittatas. And we're going to make them in muffin tins so that you can make a bunch, put them in the fridge or the freezer, and have it later. So I hope that you enjoy it, and let's get started. All right, so let's get ready with the ingredients. So I'm going to show you what we have. And again, you can pretty much use any vegetables that you have at home at hand, any type of cheese that you have at home at hand. And also for this recipe, I'm going to use 2% milk, but you can use a plant-based variety. Personally, I really like this recipe with coconut milk. So for example, if today we're using 12 eggs, because I'm really making, I'm making 12 mini frittatas to put them in my freezer for later on the week. So I'm gonna use 3/4 of a cup of 1% milk, but you can use 2 tablespoons for every egg. So if you're not using as much eggs as I am today, you can scale it back down by knowing that for every egg is 2 tablespoons of any milk that you enjoy. The milk is good because it will make it nice and fluffy. So I think it's an important ingredient to include when we're making frittatas. So let me show you the rest of the ingredients. Okay, great. So for the base of the frittata, we're gonna use a dozen eggs. We're gonna use 3/4 cups of milk. Again, I'm using 1% milk because this is the one I have in my fridge. And we're gonna season it with some pepper, garlic powder, and a little bit of salt. I use 1/4 teaspoon. And for the garlic powder, you can use a combination of garlic and onion powder, or you can just use onion or garlic powder. Today, I'm gonna use garlic powder. And for the toppings, we have some spinach. This is idea number 1. Again, you can mix and match and play with it, or you can just use the combination that you like the most. This is spinach, mozzarella cheese, and some tomato. And this is cooked sweet potatoes, cooked onions. These are saute onions. And so this is another combination. And this one is cheddar cheese and broccoli. And let's get ready. Let's make some mini frittatas. All right, so let's make the base of the frittatas, which is the eggs, the seasoning, and the milk. I'm gonna add the seasoning, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And I'm gonna start adding some eggs. Eggs have a really bad reputation nowadays, but I mean, I think that reputation is clearing up. Eggs are actually very good for us. They're really high in protein. The egg yolk has a lot of nutrition. It's really high in vitamin A, it has some vitamin D, and it has B vitamins, which is great for our energy and our immune system. So having an egg every day, it's okay. It won't affect your cholesterol too much. There are other things that might increase your cholesterol more than eggs. For example, fast foods or fried foods and other foods like that. So having an egg every day actually, that's the that's the reputation that egg has, is that it increases our cholesterol levels. And having one egg won't really affect it. And the benefit is a lot. It gives us a lot of benefits, especially if you're struggling with low appetite or you need to increase your protein and your calories. Eggs are a great option. So these mini frittatas might be a good idea to start incorporating in your daily meals or snacks. I'm gonna keep breaking the eggs. And if you see here, I have a measuring cup where I measure the milk. I'm gonna use the same measuring cup to pour the base on my muffin tins. All right, so we put all the eggs in, and now we're gonna add the milk. And we're going to mix. All we wanna do is make sure we break all the yolks and we mix everything well together. And I'm gonna start putting some of the batter in this cup because it will help me pour the batter better when I'm ready to put the mix in my muffin tins. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to prepare my muffin tins, and I had another set that is no longer with us. I had to throw it out because it wasn't working anymore. It was burned. Well, not really burned, but yeah, it was a mess. So we're gonna use these. These I couldn't find in the supermarket any non-stick ones or any stainless steel ones. So we're gonna use these for now. And all we wanna do is just add some oil spray. I'm using avocado oil spray. You can use any brand or any oil spray that you have. Make sure that you spray all over to make sure that the little mini frittatas don't they're easy to remove later on. Let's start with spinach and tomato. This is one of my favorite. All of the vegetables are gonna give us fiber, vitamins, and minerals, and antioxidants, which are great for reducing risk for colon cancer. And spinach is actually one of my favorites because it's very meaty. It goes so well with eggs, and it's just gonna be very yummy. So let's get started. So I'm gonna add a little bit of the batter. Just a little bit. And I'm just gonna add some of the toppings. Some spinach in the middle. Some tomato. You can make this a big frittata. You can do that too, instead of mini frittatas. And a little bit of cheese. And then we top it off with more egg batter. And what I like to do is, you see these ones have a little bit of the spinach on top. You can add more if you want. I'm just gonna add a little bit more. and some cheese on the top. This technique is really useful when we're making any mini frittatas like this, because we make sure that the egg is even and all around the toppings, and the texture is much better. Tomato. Beautiful. So that's our first one. So let's try another toppings. So let's do the ones with cheese here, and then we do a version without cheese here. For those of you who are dairy free, or who prefer not to have dairy. So this one is, this is one of my favorites actually. It's just broccoli and a little bit of cheddar cheese. Let's do the broccoli first. One fell there. And a little bit of the cheddar cheese. Right. And some more of our batter. This is super fun to make with your kids, or to make it as a, something relaxing. At least I find it relaxing. Let's put some more broccoli there. It's super easy too. If you plan ahead, and you can make a different toppings, or you can even use leftover vegetables that you have. Let's say you made a stir fry and you have leftover vegetables, you can use those as well. You can get creative with this. All right. All right. So these are the ones with cheese. And then the other option is sweet potatoes and onion. With sweet potatoes is one of my favorite starchy vegetable, because it's so high in fiber, and a lot of people have the misconception that because they're very sweet, they might spike our blood sugar, especially if the person has diabetes. And actually, this is a great option for people with diabetes, because it's really high in fiber. And what we want to make sure is that we combine that with something that has protein and healthy fats. And so this is perfect for a mini frittata, because we want the protein and the healthy fats that we're using will anchor the carbohydrate in the sweet potato, and as well they have fiber too, and that also helps anchor the glucose or the sugar in the sweet potato. So it makes it a really, really good option for starch. So let's do another one. This, I'm gonna not use cheese, and this is a good option for dairy free. Well, dairy free. Let's say you use the egg in the egg batter, you use coconut milk. So that's perfect for someone who is dairy free. And I would focus on doing the same toppings, but just skip the cheese. And this one is actually very good because it has more of a creamy texture with the sweet potato. So you won't really miss the cheese on this one. And the cooked onions will give it a nice flavor as well, and nice texture as well. I'm gonna get, oops. Obviously, we want to make sure we clean our hands very well before cooking. Is really important, especially when it's something so hands-on. And then let's finish up with a little more egg. That one had a little bit of broccoli there. And now, so these are our 3 ideas for mini frittatas. Again, and I'm gonna do another row here with combining a few of the toppings, other combinations that you can try. I like to put some on top so that you can see when they're done, so that you can see that they have sweet potato and you can sort of identify them. That's why I'm adding a little bit extra. Okay, awesome. Let's do another freestyle version with the ingredients that we have left over. Maybe we want to do spinach and onion. And a little bit of cheese. Make sure that they know that this is spinach. Or I know, because I'm the one that's going to eat it. So, and we can do rest of the tomato. So this is for you to see that you can really mix and mash. And if you have anything left over on your fridge, especially when you really need to use up your ingredients because they're almost ready to expire, it's important to keep in mind how can you use them. Well, this is a great option, especially because you can freeze this. These are great frozen, and you can freeze them for about 2 months. As long as your fridge your freezer is not broken, they are perfect. And I'm just gonna do one with just a mixture of the 2 cheeses I have and the leftover sweet potato. And I save a few sweet potatoes. Okay, great. Put this here. So now we're ready to put the muffin tins in the oven. We're gonna put them at 350 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. So we wanna be we want to pay attention. And as soon as we see them, they're gonna sort of grow a little bit, and they should be kind of golden brown and delicious. I can't wait. So let's put them in the oven. All right, so we added a few toppings. Some of them were vegetable examples, of course. Just as a reminder, veggies is, we cannot stress enough the importance of incorporating more vegetables into your diet. These will certainly help reduce cancer risk, especially colon cancer. The main reason is because they're really high in fiber. And fiber, it's important because it feeds the good bacteria in our gut. So incorporating those whole grains, fruits, and vegetables, all these things that have a lot of fiber is key when we want to prevent or reduce risk for colon cancer. One of my favorites is spinach, of course. Spinach is great because sometimes we're craving a salad and we get a spinach salad, but sometimes for some of my patients really don't like it because the texture is weird. It's, you have to perhaps do a lot of chewing sometimes. But when you cook it, and you cook it, especially with egg, it makes it really nice and soft, and the texture is very meaty. So it's a great one to include with eggs. A good thing I'd like to do with vegetables is to, perhaps if I go to the farmer's market, or right now we don't have a lot of fresh vegetables, but there's a lot of vegetables in season that we can cook ahead of time, such as onions, sweet potatoes, and things like that. So with spinach and sweet potatoes and onions, I use them a lot in different things like omelets. I use them in stir fries. I use them in soups. So what I like to do is when I go shopping and you get a little extra, and I cook a few ahead of time, and I keep them stored in my refrigerator, and I use them within 5 days. And I have them ready to go for when I'm ready to make a frittata, or I'm doing scrambled eggs. I can add some of the cooked vegetables on top. And so that's another way of adding more fiber to your diet, and also saving time. So, and we know, that's really helpful when we prep ahead of time. Okay, so they're ready. Let me show you how they look. Yummy. So this is how they look. They're supposed to raise up. So this is perfectly okay that happens. And some of them might not. So the ones that have the heaviest toppings, you see the sweet potato one, and this one I added sweet potato and a little more tomato. Those are the ones that tend not to rise up too much. But if the toppings are not too heavy, they tend to rise up a little bit more, like these ones. Let's try them. I am excited. This one is with cheese, and this one is without cheese. Let me show you. Oops. This is the sweet potato one. Ooh, this is how it looks from the inside. That's the layering we did when we started with the base, then a little bit of filling, then base, then filling. Let's see. I'm excited. Very good. I totally do not miss the cheese on that one because the onion gives it a nice savory flavor, and the texture of the sweet potato is nice and soft and smooth. Not the same as cheese, but close enough. Okay, so let's try this one. Show you the inside. Let's see. It's like it tastes like creamy broccoli soup with cheddar cheese. Very good. I'm going to show you how the other one looks inside. The one with the mozzarella cheese and the spinach. Yummy. Well, this is it. I hope that you got some good ideas from this video, and I hope you get creative.